Hey everyone, it's me, Donna, and I'm back with another Ancestry.com ethnicity update video. Okay, alright, previously my results were this. Ancestry.com had me at 71% England, Wales, and Northwestern European. They had me at 20% Irish and Scottish, 5% German, 2% Norway, and 2% Sweden. And of course, as I've stated, I was not happy with this report because I know that there's a lot more ethnicity in me than this. I mean, this is just ridiculous in a way. It's almost laughable. And I think it's kind of pathetic because this company claims that they have a larger reference DNA panel to use when it comes to running your DNA. And it's funny to me that other companies that I've used do a way better job with supposed less people as reference panels. They can tell me more of what is truly in me, in my DNA, than Ancestry can. Now, don't get me wrong, as I've also stated before, I love their through lines feature, their tree and all that. I think those things are great. The matches, cousin matches, or shall I say relative matches. That's great. I have no problems with that. I even, kind of like their way they've set up the new profiles and stuff like that. Their new beta feature. All that's fine. I like that. No problems. My problem is with their ethnicity reports. They suck. And that's the truth. And it just irritates me. Okay. So this is my old results, right? Now, what they have done is, of course, they've taken away some of my English and all that. Then they turned around, and also they took away my German, which is false because I have German ancestors. So that was crazy. So this is what they've got me as now. And excuse me if I cough. I'm trying to get over a rotten cold. Excuse me. And yeah, it's just hanging on. It's driving me crazy. But anyway. All right. Excuse me. Right now, they've got me as 67% British, Wales, and Northwestern European, 23% Irish and Scottish, 8% Norway, and 2% Sweden. Okay. All right. Like I said, this sucks. This is way off. I mean, they have really, really overbloated the Caucasian stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They have not included my Middle Eastern, my Northern African, and my Middle African. And when I say Northern African, I'm talking about stuff that's kind of related to Egyptians and oh crud, my mind went blank. Oh, Persian. The Persians and all that. They haven't included my Middle Eastern. They haven't included my Indian from India. They haven't included my Native American, my Polynesian, or any of that. It's like it doesn't exist in the report. It exists in other reports that I've taken, but it doesn't exist in theirs. And I just think it's kind of sad that, they're not reporting the truth. They're overbloating stuff that they don't need to overbloat, and they're not including the truth. I mean, come on. You've got more people. You've got more money from people because you've got more subscribers, supposedly, and, people buying your product. So why aren't you doing a better job with your ethnicity report? I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous, okay? But let me say, for the Norway part, okay. All right. In my previous videos, I have discussed that I have found out that I am related to ancient remains from indigenous people, not only from North America, Native Americans from North America, South America. I'm also related to Inuits from Greenland, which is right up here. Okay. All right. What's interesting is, they've got me now as 8% Norwegian. Okay. That includes Iceland. And Iceland is, really close. I mean, even though, logically it's not that close to Greenland, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's an island right over here next to Greenland. So in a way, I think they're close to including my Inuit without actually saying that's what it is. Because they're just saying that it's basically Norwegian, I guess native Norwegians. Well, a lot of Norwegians, their ancestors came from Greenland, places like Greenland. So those people, interbred with, I guess whatever Caucasian people that were indigenous to these islands and other places and stuff. And I guess it eventually turned into a more modern, I guess, Norwegian type thing or whatever. So in a way, I can kind of understand that. If you're going to go the complete Caucasian route, this would be a way to kind of hint that they're close to this right here. So yeah, and for those who have not seen my other videos, I do discuss this. I discussed that they have found ancient remains of a man from a big, huge hairball of his. He had, I guess, long hair, and they were able to take his DNA. And as I have discovered, I have his DNA all scattered out through my DNA. And he was a native Inuit of this country. Okay? And in my opinion, and I'm no scientist, okay, in my opinion, in order for his DNA to be scattered all throughout my DNA, I feel like the man had to be either like my 200th great-grandfather, excuse me, or an offspring of my 200th or whatever great-grandfather. In other words, he would have to be like directly connected to the same connections that I came from in order for his DNA to be, so much of his DNA to be scattered all throughout mine. I mean, to me, that's the only thing that makes logical sense. Now, if I found this out on GEDmatch. For those who don't know, you can go to GEDmatch and you can compare your DNA kits against these remains, DNA, excuse me, from these remains that they have uploaded onto GEDmatch. You just click on the archaic link and it will take you right there, and you can do a comparison to see if you're any kin to these findings, okay? All right. Now, I have, I'm also kin to other, like I said, indigenous people from, different areas like in North America, whatever. Okay. Some of their pieces of their DNA only showed up maybe in a 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever chromosomes. And of course, just like with this man, some were scattered throughout and everything. Okay. I can understand maybe if they only found, like, if his DNA was only on, like, maybe 2 or 3 chromosomes, or maybe 1 or whatever, I could understand maybe saying, okay, well, maybe he's, like, a distant uncle, cousin, whatever, something like that. You might, that, because to me that would make more sense. You just get a piece here and there, from a distant cousin or whatever. But if it's all scattered out, even if it's small amounts, if it's all scattered out throughout your DNA, to me that says that this person is most likely a direct ancestor, or pretty doggone close to it. In other words, they had to derive from that same line as you derive from. And most likely like a direct, like an offspring or something, because they've got that same DNA. Do you understand what I'm saying? But again, I'm no scientist, but to me that would make more sense. I mean, logically, because if you don't, like it, if you don't have it, then you can't share it or whatever, or you'd only share, like a piece of it or whatever, So, yeah, just, yeah. But anyway, I know I'm rambling on, but anyway, so I know that I have this DNA in me, but yet this is as close as they're getting. Okay, so to me, I just think that it's pretty sad. And I'm not trying to just dump on Ancestry because, like I've said, I know that, they have good positive things to offer their subscribers. And I think that it is great. Like if you're looking for kinfolk, long lost biological family member or something like that, I think Ancestry is awesome. It's one of the best ways to do that. Or if you're trying to find out how people are kin to you, like your cousin matches and stuff like that, it's a lot easier with Ancestry, especially if you start building a tree. Then it can use your through lines feature and your DNA. I mean, it can use your tree information and your DNA through the through lines feature and connect you up, and you will be able to find out more how you're kin to people. Whereas 23, bless their hearts, 23andMe are kind of doing it backwards, as I have stated. And it's just not really working the way that they're doing it, because they're leaving too many variables. In other words, they're trying to just guess themselves how people are kin to you. And then once they do that, then they're letting you go in and fill in your tree information. And you can only fill up to a certain amount depending on how they have calculated your kinship to other people. And therefore, there's just too many unknowns with that. So, in my opinion, that's not going to work. There's just too many variables, and it's too complicated because there's lots of people who have step parents, half siblings, half, aunts, uncles, half fourth great grandparents, and all that stuff. Okay, and and also, people have, just like in my case, some people have people who were kin to each other, who married each other and had offspring, and therefore that gets things confused. So I like the way Ancestry does it. They let you fill in your tree information however you want to, and then they take your information and match it up to other people's information and DNA and just see how it all matches. Okay, it's not perfect, it's not 100%, but it's a heck of a lot better than 23andMe, because 23andMe has messed up my cousin kinships and all that crap, because there's some cousins I'm kin to, and at least 2 ways, and maybe 3, who knows, and they've got it messed up because they're just assuming how they're kin to me, and it's not working. It's way the heck off. I mean, they've got some people who are in actuality like a first cousin once removed. They've got them way the heck off as like a third or fourth cousin, even though on the actual match part, when I go to check the match, the information is correct, especially when it lets you correct it. Like if it's got you as someone as your first cousin, it will let you go in and say, no, this is my first cousin once removed or whatever. That part is fine. But then when it does the tree, then it puts somebody way the heck over there. Then it just messes it up. I mean, it's screwy, and I don't like it. And I think they need to revamp it, and they need to do it more like Ancestry does it, in my opinion. Okay. But anyway, having said that, like I said, there's positives and there's negatives to this website. And the negative part is the ethnicity. So if you're looking for ethnicity and you just want to find out what you're made of, what's really there, even the low percentages and all that, I don't recommend Ancestry because it sucks. It truly sucks. And it's just pathetic for them to have so many people that they claim to be using as a reference for this to come to this. I mean, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not happy with their ethnicity report at all. Okay, I mean, some things are true. Yeah, I know I have British. I know I have Irish. I can see that in the mirror. I know my ancestry. My ancestors are that. Okay, it's the other stuff that I want to know. And like I said, they took away the German. I know I have that. And my tip for them, my advice to them would be test more people in Greenland. Indigenous people from Greenland, please test them. Okay, test people from the Polynesian islands. I have Polynesian in me. Test those people. Test more Native Americans. Okay, test more Africans, more North Africans and Middle Africans and all that. And tell people the truth. Okay, don't hold out people's ethnicity report based on whether or not they have an actual subscription or not. Because your DNA test costs money. When it's not on sale, people can pay up to $100 for just your DNA without any kind of health report or anything like that. On average, people are forking out like $100 for your ethnicity report. And I don't want you to tell me what I already see in the mirror, what's already obvious. I want you to tell me the truth of what's actually there. Things that I've had to go and find out the hard way by taking other DNA tests and also by having to do research and go back through, all this different information on the internet and through other people and everything, to find out the real truth. Especially with my Native American stuff and African and whatever, I had to find that out through other means. And your ethnicity report was no help at all with that. Okay, so I know I'm on a soapbox, but I just wanted to say that it appears as though they've went from bad to worse. But since I can read between the lines, I can see that this is at least getting a little bit closer, but just not quite. I just think they need to do better and just, release information to people. Give people the truth. Give people their money's worth in their ethnicity report, and do not base it on whether or not they have a subscription or not. A yearly subscription, monthly subscription, or whatever. That should have nothing to do with your actual ethnicity report. I can understand it having to do with the trees and the other information and all that. Fine. I have no problem with that. But do not make someone have to buy extra stuff from your company in order to get the truth about their ethnicity. If that's what you're doing, that's wrong. I don't agree with that type of policy. I hope that's not what you're doing, but even, if it's not, do a better job. Get more people in your panel. Maybe you've got too many people from a certain group and not enough of others. Definitely not enough of others. Okay, but anyway, I am going to go for now. Talk to you guys later. Bye.